Alright, good morning my friends, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be installing these lights on the Jimny. So these are some generic LED rock lights that I picked up on Amazon. I know they're rock lights, but I'm going to be using them as interior lights. So we're going to be mounting them in the footwell of the Jimny. They come with a rubber grommet for mounting on tubing. We have the light itself, which I went with red because the interior lights on the Jimny is red, so we're sticking with a red theme. And then we have our nut and bolt here to mount it. So let's fit these up on the Jimny and install them. So starting with the driver side, looking underneath there, I realized that we have no brackets to mount the footwell lights. I'm going to use this rubber grommet that's for mounting the rock light to tubing, and I'm going to mount it on the steering column here itself. Now I can't drill the steering column for obvious reasons, so I'm going to modify the rubber grommet to be able to attach it here using zip ties and probably double-sided tape. So looking at the passenger side, I realize we have no spots to mount the lights either, but we have two metal brackets here behind the glove box compartment. So what I'm going to do is, there's a free hole here, so I'm going to make an L bracket that comes down and goes behind here, and we could mount the light on the bracket. Alright, so starting with the driver side, I got a piece of pipe to simulate the steering column. So what I have here is the grommet that goes on the tubing like this, and then we have the light that mounting on the grommet like that. Now I can't drill the steering column, so I need to find a way to mount this on the steering column without using nut and bolt. So what I'm going to do is, there's a hole on this side that's usually used to run the wire, so it works like this, and then you could run the wire out either way, either this hole or this hole. So this is how it looks when it's assembled. We have the light on the grommet and the wire running out on top, so this could be mounted like this. So what I'm going to do is, there's one hole here already, so I'm just going to drill 3 holes, so 1 here and 2 on the side, so I can pass a zip tie through the hole and attach it like this. Alright, so the zip ties going like that, then we could just attach it like this and connect the zip ties at the back. So that's how we're going to mount this light. And I'll just use some epoxy or glue just to hold the light on there itself. Alright, so I find this scrap piece of zinc that we're going to use to make the bracket out of. So we're just going to cut out a piece from this and bend it to make a bracket. Alright, so this is the finished bracket here. So it's an L bracket with a keyhole for the wire. So how it's going to work is, we're going to mount this just like this, and you can see how the keyhole here cut out for the wire. Now what I'm going to do to prevent this from cutting on the metal, I'm going to slide a grommet on the wire, slide the grommet in there, and then you're going to mount the light from the back. So you're going to be like this. Right, so wiring up everything. We're going to be using some 16 gauge wire to make the harness. So starting with the passenger side, let's connect up this. Alright, so I just finished peeing the bracket and I made the harness. So on the harness we have the passenger side light, then we have the driver side light, we have a ground, and we have the switch and a fuse top to tap into the fuse box. So let's install this in the Jimny and see how it looks. Alright, so starting with the passenger side, we're going to mount it on the bracket. Alright, so that's the bracket there. Alright, so now I'm going to mount this here. Alright, so this bracket, mounting like this, right here. Alright, so I just finished installing the lights. Unfortunately, I can film the installation because the space was just too small for the camera and myself under the dash. But let me show you how it came out. So starting with the passenger side, you can see the bracket right there with the light. So we have the bracket and the light mounted right here. And the wire run underneath there into the driver's side. So on the driver's side now, we have the rock light mounted on the steering column right there. The wire run from underneath here all the way to the light and then inside the fuse box right up here. And then I have the switch right here at the side of the steering. Alright, so that's the installation there. Two things to mention. One, I didn't hard mount the switch because I have some parts on order to make a custom switch panel. So it don't make sense that I drill or cut the dashboard and then sooner or later I'm gonna have to patch it back. So I just have it like that for now. Once the parts arrive, we'll relocate all the switches. And the second thing is I tapped into the cigarette lighter fuse, which means the circuit would only have power when the ignition is on. That way I can't forget it on and accidentally drain the battery. So now it's just time to wait until tonight and see how it looks in the dark.